because talk is that, the spine, the gray matter of the brain is fueled by the same gray matter that lines along the spine. And so in moving the spine, you're improving the mind. So get all your props together and we will start in Banana Asana. So you're gonna lie on your backs. And first just allow your spine to settle on the mat. So to any degree, release the spine. Allow everything to become aligned on your mat. And then you're going to slowly lift the hip and send it towards the left. Walk both legs over to the right corner of your mat. And you can have the arms in either cactus arms, or you can lift both arms overhead and then walk it over to the right side as well. And then once you're there, maybe with your right hand, you can hold on to the left wrist. And then sometimes I also like to lift that left leg, cross it over the right, so that you can invite a nice long lateral extension along the left side of your body. And then once you found your shape and you feel comfortable enough to hold it, begin to release any sort of muscle tension, any sort of gripping that you might have as you stay in the shape. Allow your shoulders to release. Notice even at your feet, do you feel like you're holding on? And allow everything to become easy. And settle into your pose. Maybe using this time to invite an intention to your practice this morning. Maybe your intention is one of gratitude, maybe one of self-care, maybe one of being present. And whatever your intention, just allow that to consistently infuse each shape that we get into for this hour-long practice. So that when your practice is complete, you would have fulfilled that which brought you to the mat. And as you settle into these shapes and your mind begin to wander, which it will, allow your breath to bring you back, right? So using that as an anchor to stabilize you and bring you back to the present moment so that you're minimizing the need to run off with all the thoughts that might be circulating. And so slowly release the legs, bring them back to center. Release the wrist, bring that back to center. Lift your hip and send your hip over to the right this time. Walk both legs over to the left. Extend the arms overhead, or maybe just bend at the elbows if extending is a little too much sensation for this shape. But if you extend the arms, direct them over to the left as well. And this time, let the left hand hold on to the right wrist. Allow the right leg to cross over the left. This time, bring in some sensation along the right side body. And then maybe do a body scan and notice which areas your muscle might still be engaged. So work towards releasing the muscle around the bones so that in time, the sensation that you're currently feeling can move from the superficial muscles and work its way a little deeper into the connective tissue and the fascia. And so it's always good to be aware and know a little more, right? And knowing a little bit more about what you're doing or the experience that you're having, it all tends to land differently and you have a greater appreciation for anything within your scope. And so the reason why we practice yin is because in yoga we talk about balance in everything, remaining at equilibrium. And so one would argue that life now, even if you're not doing anything on the yang side as far as exercising, everything right now that's representative in the world is a yang. And so in order to balance that, we somehow need to come to a place where we can let go and go deeper and consistently try to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. Because we of recent have been activated in the wrong mode all the time. Well, not the wrong mode, because we do require that fight or flight. But too much of one thing could always cause the imbalance of the other thing. So the whole reason we come to the mat to practice yin is to balance anything on the outside that might be too much of a yang. And so yin is more meditative, and it's asking of us to go internally and just discover what we're feeling, either by the shape or just sheer presence of our space on the mat. And in connecting with who we are internally, we can better represent who we are when we step off the mat. And slowly bring both legs back to center. So you're going to unhook that right leg, bring it back to center, bring the hip back to center, extend the arms overhead. And then in whatever direction you are, you can allow yourself to come up to table. So you can stay right where you are and just allow yourself to roll over on the mat. Come up to your table. Set your hips over your knees and plant the wrist firmly on the ground and just take a few cat-cows here. So on the inhale, allowing the spine to dip towards the mat. And then on the exhale, arching the spine, pushing the mat away. Bringing the chin into the chest and letting the head hang. And take a few of these going at your own pace. Just be mindful of the movement and maybe tapping into any areas where you think you should hang out a little more so that there's more compassion, more care. And then whenever you feel ready, you can tuck the toes, send the hips back and up. And come to your downward facing dog. Let the head hang, let the torso direct towards the thighs. Take a few deep breaths here, maybe move around if that's what your body is asking for. Lengthening in the spine. You can even bend the knees if you need to. And then slowly walk the feet to meet the hand, coming to your Uttanasana or forward fold. Let the head hang here. And then from here, allow the left hand to hold on to the outside of the right foot. You're going to put a slight bend in the left knee and begin to direct your right shoulder up towards the ceiling. And you can allow that right hand to rest just on your hip, or if you feel you have more to go, you can allow that arm to extend up towards the ceiling. Notice your breath. Direct your navel towards the upper right, using your inhales to find length, and then using the exhales to twist any more towards the right. And then slowly release the right hand. Come back to your forward fold. Let the head hang. Straighten the left knee. And then take an inhale and bring the spine up to a half lift. So maybe the fingertips are on the mat, or maybe the hand is on the shin. Send the shoulders back and lengthen the spine. And then exhale and release it out. Let the head hang. Take an inhale, come to your half lift. Long spine here. And then exhale to release. Inhale, take another half lift. And then exhale, release. And then allow the right hand to go to the outside of the left foot, left leg. Slight bend in that right knee. And begin to slowly allow yourself to lift that left shoulder as you twist the torso. Sending the navel up to the spine along the left side. Directing the left ribs up. You can just leave that hand on the outside of your lower back. If you have more to go, you can allow yourself to lengthen that out. Moving the spine this morning. Rumor has it that we're only as young as our spine is flexible. So this morning, we're gonna work towards being as young as possible. And allowing the synovial fluid to just run up and down and invite as much flexibility as we possibly can get. Slowly release that left arm. Come back to your forward fold. This time you can come to ragdoll by folding the arms. Bring a little more release in the spine here. Let the head hang freely. And then as you release the arm, we're going to come to a circular motion. So, bring the weight over to the right side. Let both hands just hang, let the head hang. And then on the inhale, work to roll the spine up. And when you get up, maybe allow the head to go back just a little. And then as you exhale, direct the weight to the left side, bringing the spine down over to the left. Let the head hang again. And then work to make another circle. So almost in a meditative way, you can maybe close your eyes here as you slowly move. Rolling the spine up and around. Trying not to manipulate the move, but allowing the body to move freely. Exhaling as you come down. And inhaling as you roll up. And then when you exhale and you get down to the left side, we're going to reverse that motion. Inhale, come back up on the left side. And then go in a counterclockwise position. Using the inhales to roll the spine up. And then using the exhales to release as you go down. And one more motion as you go down on the right side. And inhale and come up. And once you come up, allow yourself to find a Tadasana position. Open the arms, relax the shoulders, release. And then take an inhale, lift both arms up. Interlace the fingers, reverse the interlace. You're going to send the palms towards the ceiling. Rotate the spine so that you're turning to the right. And as you turn to the right, just allow yourself to take a soft back bend. Maybe the head goes back a little. Take a few breaths here. Lift the head up. Bring yourself back to center. Rotate over to the left. Arms are still up. Maybe you look up, send the head back, take a soft back bend here. Come back to center. Release the arms. Hinge at the hips. Come to a forward fold. Plant the wrist down. Step the feet back and come back to a downward facing dog. and the spine towards the thighs. Lift the hips back and up. And then slowly kiss the knees towards your mat. Bring the knees as wide as the mat here. And we're going to come to either frog pose or child's pose. So if you're getting into frog pose, when you bring the knees as wide as the mat, you're going to try to open the feet out. And then just as in child's pose, allow the hips to go back towards the center of the mat. Release the spine, release the torso. Then you can extend the arms. If this is too much of a sensation, you can place both forearms one on top of the other. If you have a block and you think that's a better option for you, you can use the block. And you can come into either a wide-legged child's pose or frog. If you're in frog and you feel any sort of sensation in the knees, back out and bring the feet closer so that you're more in a child's pose. And it's not that one is better than the other, we're just minimizing any sort of pain, right? So even though we expect a sensation in the poses, we're not looking for any sort of pins and needles, any sort of sharp kinds of pain, especially along the knees. You're looking for a sensation, some sort of almost achiness feeling that you know you can hold, but not be utterly uncomfortable. And then as you release in your child's pose or in your frog, release the spine. See if you can become still. And then allow time to work its way from that outer sensation into the connective tissue of your joints. And also remember, as in any other practice that you do, your body is your own teacher. So even though someone is in front of you trying to facilitate the class, there's no way for me to know what you're experiencing. And that's why we allow for time so that you can navigate, maybe readjust in a way that is still supportive, even though you're feeling a sensation. If you need to come out of the pose completely, honor your body in doing that. And then slowly roll the spine up. Bring the knees back under the hips. Bring yourself down onto the mat so that your tummy is down. And we're going to come into Sphinx pose or seal pose. So in Sphinx, the forearm is going to be, both forearms are on the mat. You're getting a slight back bend as you lift up and relax the shoulders, ensuring that the elbows are under the balls of the shoulders. There's an option to also place the blocks under the forearm if you think that you may want a deeper back bend. And yet another option is that you can come to seal pose, remove the blocks, plant the wrist firmly down on the mat, lift the shoulders up, extend, and come into seal pose. Once again, you choose where your body is willing to go this morning. And as you're in this position, just notice if your mind has begun to wander, because silence encourages some kind of noise. Allow yourself to come back to the present, bring yourself back to the breath. And you can notice your thoughts without engaging in it. Work toward just understanding what is happening in your body in this position. Notice what you might be feeling. And just be curious about that. Are you uncomfortable? But can you hang out in that arena? Can you work to understand why you're uncomfortable? Where are the sensations showing up? Are they loud? Are they simmering? And can you use your breath to become aware in that area? And slowly release your pose. Stack the wrist one on top of the other. And just allow the forehead to rest on top of the palms, and again, just notice. And then extend both arms out like a T. And we're going to come to bird wing, which we did last week. Let the palms face down. And first we're going to roll onto the right side. So you'll be using the left hand planted on the ground so that it allows for some momentum to shift the hips, the entire line of the body, almost onto that right shoulder. You can use a block to place the head. Let that left hand be planted firmly in front of you, and only come to the degree to which you can hold the pose. Right, so yin is more of a functional practice. It's not about the aesthetics of the pose, it's how the pose can inform in your own body. If you have more to go, you can lift that left leg and plant the left foot firmly on the mat or on the ground. And if it's too much sensation in the arm, you can send the arm a little lower. So instead of having it in the T, you can direct the hand downwards. And continue to roll the spine so that your entire body's on the side. That top left leg is behind the right thigh. Your foot, the left foot, is planted on the ground. Allow yourself to use your breath of awareness to be directed into any areas where the sensation might be a little greater. Take 2 more breaths here. Slowly roll yourself back to the center. And then work to roll onto the left side. Maybe readjusting your block if you were using a block. Carefully allow that right hand to help you as you direct your body to the right. And then if you feel you have more to go, you lift that right leg. And just notice, once again, this is a bit of a doozy. But the idea is to notice what you need to do in order to come into a shape that is sustainable for you. Right? So we're not giving out trophies. We're not going for who's the best of the best. We can't even see each other, so that's really good. So we have nothing to go about but ourselves. And that's the whole purpose. You're working with your body in your own time, working through your own issues. Notice if you're clenching in your glutes, maybe you'd like to release that. Notice if you're clenching in your jaw, you might be frowning. Relax your facial muscles. It's in relaxing the larger muscles that sort of make room for the process to happen. Make space. Create a conduit so that we can encourage more hydration into that area of our body. Wherever you are on the mat. The whole premise of yoga is to yoke, bring wholeness and a union between the mind and the body using the breath. And slowly release, roll back onto your stomach, bring that leg over. And we're gonna come up seated and extending the legs out in front of us. So you're coming to Dandasana. Move slowly, no race. And as you lengthen in the spine here, we're gonna bend that right leg so that the right foot is to the inside of your left leg, left thigh. Bring any support that you need towards the knee. So if you need your block, your blanket. And then take an inhale, extend the arms up. And then on the exhale, allow yourself to float towards the left knee. You might be able to hold on to the toes, maybe the foot, maybe the bottom of your leg. And this is called half butterfly. And if holding on to the feet or the left foot is not okay, you can also bring a strap to that foot. So that you're releasing anything that might be insanely uncomfortable for you. And in this forward fold, allow yourself to release the spine. You might notice that there are areas where you're still gripping. If you can become easy in that left thigh, release the muscle around the bone there. Notice if the longer we hang out in this butterfly forward fold, that your torso might move a little closer to the thigh. And slowly roll the spine up. And you're going to swing this left leg behind. So to any degree you can allow that left leg to swing behind. Lengthen in the spine here. Let that left hand touch your right knee. Let the right hand plant behind so that you have a foundation. Allow yourself to inhale and lengthen. And then as you exhale, see if you can twist towards the right, directing that right shoulder almost towards the back of your mat. Try not to hold the breath, even though you're in a twist. Allow the breath to be just as easy and rhythmic as it usually is naturally. And then on the next exhale, bring yourself back to center. Bring that leg back to the front. And you'll allow yourself to lift onto this left leg. So you're just gonna roll up, come onto that right knee that was bent. Extend that left leg to any degree. Allow yourself to lengthen, maybe extend that left arm. Just take an extension here. It's a soft back bend. We're trying to work out all the kinks of the spine. You support it on that right hand. And then very slowly release that, come back down. And we'll take all of that on the other side. So extend that right leg. Bend the left, let the left foot come into the right thigh, right leg. Take a deep inhale, extend both arms up. Relax the shoulders as you do so. And then on the exhale, roll the torso towards the right thigh. Release the arms wherever they land. If you can hold on to the right foot, that's good. You can hold on to the right leg, to the ankle. You need to just release the arms, not even hold on to anything. That's good too. There's a million pathways to getting to the ultimate destination. You just have to decide which path are you on. And is this the best path for me? This is the path where I feel like I'm honoring my body, still getting into the pose, still being safe, still practicing compassion and care. Then this side, just notice how it might have been different from the other side. Why are you holding on to things differently? At least for me, it's in my shoulder this time. So if you're holding anything on the shoulder, can you release there? You become easy on that right thigh area. And then is this a space where you can sustain the shape while still encouraging the sensation? Slowly roll the spine up. Bring that right leg behind. And to any degree, allow the spine to lengthen here. Let that right hand come to your left knee. Let the left hand stack behind you so that you have some support. Allow yourself to inhale and get taller. And then as you exhale, can you direct this left shoulder to the back of your mat? Directing the left hip, the left ribs towards the back. And bringing any kind of rotation to the spine. And then slowly release that, come back to center. Bring that right leg back to the front. Set yourself up so that you can lift onto that left knee, left hip. Extend the right leg. Open up the chest. Maybe extend that right arm up. Reach for the ceiling. And if you have more to go, you can allow that right arm to float down so that it's parallel to that right ear. Noticing the compression that's happening on the left side of your body as you extend along the entire right side. Once again, just noticing. And then slowly release that. Come on down to your backs. And come into happy baby. So when you release the spine, you're gonna bend the knees. Let the knees open out a bit, wider than your torso. Maybe grab onto the outside of both feet. And you can allow yourself to open the feet, make a wider space between the legs, or you can keep it inward. Maybe you can allow yourself to gently rock from side to side. And that feels complete. Plant both feet down onto the mat, bend the knees. Cross the right knee over the left knee. Lift the hip and gently direct it towards the right. And then allow both knees to float over to the left. You can allow the arms to cactus, so bending at the elbow and then the palms face up. Or you can extend both arms and allow your gaze to go into the direction of the right. So the knees are over to the left, your gaze can be over to the right. If your gaze is over to the right and that right arm is extended, you can use the left arm to anchor both knees down any more towards your mat. And then slowly release that. Bring both knees back up to center, bring the hips to center. Unwrap, and then cross the left over the right. Lift the hips directed to the left side. Allow both knees to fall over to the right side. Coming into the spinal twist here. And maybe you can just cactus the arms. Or you can extend both arms. Send the gaze over to the left. Use your right hand to anchor both knees over to the right. And again, just notice where you might be holding on. Allow the balls of the shoulder to anchor towards the mat. It's almost like paperweights. Notice if you feel that you're squeezing towards your core. And release that and invite the sensation to go a little deeper. And then slowly release that. Unwrap the knees. Extend both legs. Zip your spine onto your mat. And you can begin to set up for your Shavasana. And just before you do that, as you settle into this space, I'm going to read a snippet of a story that I guess is an old Zen master story. And so the Zen master story goes like this. The Zen master tells his students that they will become enlightened if they go out and do their spiritual practice at the first sign of light. Excitedly, they prepare themselves for this journey, but they were somewhat confused by what exactly the Zen master meant. Is it when we climb a mountaintop and find clarity, Zen master? They asked. And the teacher said no. Is it when we can discern between an oak tree and an olive tree, Zen master? And the teacher said no. Is it when we've awakened before the sun rises and can capture the first sight of its glory? And again, the Zen master said no. Is it when we become still as we look out on the ocean, where we can see the sky meet the horizon? And again, the Zen master says no. When then is it that we know we have seen the light? And so the Zen master takes a pause and he says, you'll know you've seen the light when a stranger walks up to you you. And you can look deep into their eyes and know that the spirit that resides within them also is the same spirit that resides within you. Until then, he says, you're all living in darkness. Settle into your Shavasana. Let your bones get heavy. Take deep breaths in and out. And allow your body to rest. Begin to make small movements with your hands and with your feet. Bringing awareness back into the body. And then in your own time, you can come to one side. Take a pause. And then softly lift yourself up into a seated position. As you do so, lengthening the spine, finger palms to touch. Take a deep breath in, and as you release it, let the mouth open and let it out with a sigh. So deep breath in, and let it out. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you this morning. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, folks. Thanks for spending your morning with me.
Have a good weekend. Enjoy the heat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Seeing you folks. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.